All right. Hello, hello, everyone. Caitlin, Psychic Moon Mentor here, bringing you another Cosmic Tea Time chat. So excited to be here today with a business chakra alignment coach, Supriya, who we connected with on the socials. Some of you may have heard me talking earlier about, not taking on too much this week, right? There's a lot going on. We have Mars moving into Virgo. We have a new moon energy rolling in. And so, rest and replenishment is kind of a theme and not taking on too much this week. So we're going to dive in and chat some about the root chakra and more of this energy and themes that have been coming up this week and will come up as we continue into the weekend. So, Supriya, thank you for being here. So excited to dive in with you. Would you please be so kind as to introduce yourself and let people know what you're all about?
Yes, absolutely. And thank you for having me. So I'm a business chakra alignment strategist coach. And what that really means is what I do is I take the metaphysical aspect that I've been doing for like the last 21, 22 years of my life. I've actually developed my gifts since I was 12 years old. My mom had her own awakening. And actually, a psychic told her that your kids have the gift too. So she started working with me on all that. And so I've taken that aspect, all the stuff that I was doing since I was like 12 years old, and I take the marketing aspect, the business aspect, and all of that stuff since I was doing for like the last 12 years or so. And I combined it together to basically create the business chakra system. Um, and what that is that each part of your chakra represents each part of your business represents a different chakra in your body. So, for example, Muladhara, which is root chakra, that is your income, your revenue, your offers, your audience even. So what that is that if when something is blocked or something is closed, and remember, an imbalance is too much or too little of something. So when it's closed, when it's like this, and when I actually read chakras, by the way, and I do read business chakras for people, and I see it's closed, it's usually a lack of something or a fear of something.
Yeah.
It could also mean a fear of me. So when I see a blocked, let's say Muladhara chakra, blocked root chakra, that usually means that there is like a lack of income, a lack of revenue. It could be a fear of income, a fear of revenue, a fear of money, something that is like a fear of putting your offers out there, because it also represents all of that. So there's a lot to get into when it comes to all that stuff. So yeah, and what I do is I combine it together as a psychic intuitive medium. An energy healer, Reiki level 1 and 2, and automatic writer, and then spent the last 12 years in the marketing and branding world. I combine those two together and use it into all of this and help create strategies for my clients, help create all of these offerings, and then actually help them heal, help them clear everything out that is working with them, going through shadow work, things like that.
Yes, yeah. And so often I find that, I'm working with people to help them calm and to help them take care of themselves and help them show up for themselves and really have fun again, honestly, but also a lot of slowing down. And sometimes that's when we can see more of this fear that sort of arises, whether it's, before we even start or even as we suggest and lean into that of the fear of slowing down and, all the reasons that the mind tells us of why we can't, or, and the fear of what's going to show up in that sort of stillness or silence, and, sitting with the uncomfortable feelings, as opposed to, continuing on this sort of like hamster wheel of sorts that we can get so conditioned into. Do you see that at all when you work with individuals with the root chakra?
Yeah, absolutely. And they could have multiple chakras that are blocked. They could have like 90% of the time, whenever a root chakra is blocked. Also, at the same time, I also see either and or the Manipura chakra, the solar plexus, or the Vishuddha, which is the throat chakra. 90% of the time, they have those, and the other time, the one that is way too open. And I actually, honestly, I have never seen a heart-centered entrepreneur that has their heart that has their heart chakra closed. It's almost always too open.
Too open. Yeah, I've seen that as well. That's so funny that you
Yeah,
mentioned that. Yeah.
it's almost always too open, which means there's a lack of boundaries happening. So whenever something is too open, it's like, okay, we need to rein in on the boundaries now. So you don't have an issue giving away. You don't have an issue giving all your love and all that stuff away for you, but you have an issue
And
reining it in.
And so when someone wants to do this work, they want to manifest, they're interested in like the new moon, right? And they know that leading into this, it's encouraged to slow down to whether that's meditation, whether that's slow body movement, whatever it is that they're connecting to, right? And they're noticing some resistance coming up around it, some fear coming up around it. What tools can sort of help them, ground into this root chakra, ground in and root and feel safe while also noticing that resistance?
Yeah, I mean, whenever I see somebody, like, whenever I hear anybody say like, I'm manifesting, I am trying to manifest, I just don't know what it is. And believe me, I've actually gone through this myself, where I manifested something, but it wasn't quite exactly what I wanted. It wasn't exactly what I was like, oh my gosh, what's happening here? And that's usually because there is a wound in the past that I haven't actually taken care of. So I do a lot of inner child work. And I have recently started going back onto my own inner child work too. But this is stuff I work with my clients too, going into a deep inner child meditation. And what I do for the root is I actually go into the root chakra meditation. And yeah, you can either do this through a YouTube root chakra chant. The root chakra chant is actually called or Lum. And what you do is you can either chant it yourself, go Lum, Lum, and you can actually either do that by doing some belly breathing. Just inhale in, um, inhale in, and then exhale like a couple times. Exhale, do that a couple times. Inhale in 4 breaths, hold it for 4 breaths, and exhale. And then put your hands right below the navel, to that part where the root chakra would lie, or below the base of your pelvis. And then just do that. And then, and again, you can actually go to Meditative Mind on YouTube and do the root chakra chant in there as well. So putting it back into, and then, yeah, the root into safety, putting it like knowing that you are safe in that space. And that's why you do those meditations, to know that you are safe in that whole space. So,
Yeah, and knowing that even though the fear is there, even though there might be some uncomfortability there,
yeah,
you're still safe. And you can sort of
exactly.
welcome that and sit with it a little bit and not necessarily do anything except to be present with it, and maybe come back to the breath, maybe just notice any sensations, but you don't have to do anything necessarily or like work it out, right? So often, I don't know if you found this as well, but like just acknowledging
Mhm.
and welcoming that energy and being in it can help us fully integrate whatever that is, that childhood wound, whatever our inner child needs, and then that can open us up to
Exactly.
what we desire, what we're ready to
Yeah, exactly.
manifest.
And you can wait, there's like a million ways you can go about it, but what like I like to do is I actually like to meet my child. And I also go back to where the first time I ever felt, money was a bad thing. Money was like, yes, money was a
Yes. I love that you say this. Yes, because that's one of the questions that I so often bring up in my moon sessions or energy work, right? When something we're working through a block, it's like, okay, what is this? Asking these open-ended questions, staying curious about it. When was the first time I felt this way? Such a powerful
exactly. And
question.
it's so, and when you start diving in, it's like, okay, when did I first hear this? And then you find out, like, oh, yeah, my parents always talked about the lack of money in our household, the lack of money, like how they can't pay their bills, like how the credit card bills is lining up. Oh my God, when was the first, when? And it was like, oh my gosh, like it's so like it was so eye-opening when I was like, holy crap, like I don't think anybody talked about money in a positive way in our household unless they got like a lot of it, right? Unless they got like a lot of it.
And sometimes just that can be so freeing because I found, and I'm sure you know this too, right? In those younger years, what is it, like 0 to 7, where we're literally just absorbing, we're like little sponges absorbing beliefs, energy from everything
Yes.
around us. And when we go back and ask that question, when did I first feel this, think this, what have you, we can realize that like it's not even ours, right? Like we're carrying around this thing that came from somewhere outside of us. And sometimes it can, I found with my clients and the work that I do, it's just enough to shift that perspective to like to let go of it and free
Yes,
themselves from it.
exactly. And it's all about shifting that perspective. And it's also about caring for them. And what I do is with my inner child, like, and I have done, I literally just danced with my inner child, with my child self at that age, and started telling the song about money. Money is good, money is powerful, money is this. And it's like I love money, and like and I told that start dancing around that. And like 7, 8 years old, that's what I was doing. I was just like playing around and dancing everywhere. So that made sense. That made sense for me to do that at that age. And like honestly, whenever I go back to that version of my child, so that's all she's doing. She's just dancing around. And then what I did as well is I told that inner child, and like, why did you tell your parents to do that? And they did that. And like next time I go back, that's all they're doing. They're dancing around. The singing that song. So I mean, yeah, like it's all about doing taking those steps. I mean, there's a lot deeper work you can do doing that, going there and having that, because root chakra is safe. I mean, it is safety. I mean, I think you said it's safety. It's all about.
Yeah, and keeping it simple too, right? And I think that's a perfect example that you brought up, right? Like acknowledging your inner child, like dancing with her, like loving on her, because we are in Cancer season right now, right? And the new moon Cancer is coming up. And so Cancer is the mother archetype of the zodiac, right? And so she wants to nurture and sort of love. And so can we mother ourselves? Can we reparent ourselves and show up for that inner child? As we lean into Leo season where we can really do more of that. So it's like right now is the time to really slow down and nurture. And then after the 22nd, it'll be more of that time to really dive into the dancing and the creativity and the fun and the playfulness. That's that Leo season with like the inner child,
Yeah,
like you're
and
saying.
I think it's important that you said that this is a really good time to rest, recuperate, and everything. And honestly, some of my readings have kind of been saying the same thing about rest and recuperate and all that stuff. And I mean, yeah, like resting and recuperating, like all the stuff, like it's been a crazy time, like astrologically, in the air. When you look at it, like there was just all sorts of eclipse and retrogrades and everything just been happening at the same time. And yeah, this is a really good time. And this is like a really good space to actually work on your chakras too and do that inner child work and
Yeah.
healing and going in to all that stuff and really going in there and like digging all that out with the root. And the root chakra is so like it's so powerful though. It's so powerful once you all the chakras are powerful because there's so much you can like. It's not about a blocked chakra. It's not about, oh, this is blocked, you need to heal it. Like there is that, but what happens when you actually open it? You can do so much when you actually when you open it and when you
Mhm.
know about it, and like manifesting is another is one of the many things you can do when you open it.
Yeah, and so often, I think part of it's part of the collective energy of resisting rest and slowing down. But, in this space, in my group Moon Manifesting Lunar Abundance, and in other spiritual spaces and communities, right? Or in your own personal spiritual practice, you know, inviting you to remember that that is a crucial element to actually manifest, right? To actually grow. That's when it happens in the sleeping, in the slowing down, right? I used to be a personal fitness trainer and group fitness instructor, and yeah, going to the gym is important, working those muscles is important, but when does the muscle growth actually happen? When does the hypertrophy actually take place? In
Rest.
rest. Like that is like a key element. So, just lovingly setting that reminder out there of like, that is productive time. I just had a reading today with a client who was all about productivity
Mhm.
and, staying organized and going, and oh, I'm doing so much. And it's like, we think rest isn't productive because we're not doing anything, but it is, right? That gentle reminder that that is a crucial, essential time for you, your spirit, what you want, and what you're calling in.
Exactly. It's that rest is everything, and rest is so important. And, and I know we're in Cancer season right now, but and I'm a Gemini. I'm a Gemini and Libra, rising, Aquarius slash Capricorn. I'm on the cusp. Um, Rising, Libra moon, and Aquarius and Capricorn rising. Um, and of all things, water is like the best thing for me. Like taking salt baths is the best thing for me.
Okay.
And it's crazy. I mean, I do like being out in the sun and be like feeling the air, and as an air sign, like that's great, but that's great for you. But it's just the water. The water for me has been incredibly healing. Um, and I do encourage it for a lot of people because it's just, especially salt water. I love taking Epsom salt baths. Um, and I actually
Mhm.
do, and I don't recommend this for, especially if you're a beginner, um, to do inner child meditation in the bath. Um, Simply because and especially deep inner child meditation in the bath, because you don't know what will happen in that. But that's what I've done. I've done it in the bath, and I've done it and like have and try and put like a layer of protection on that. And because there are levels to inner child healing, and shadow work and all
Yes.
that. But yeah, I've done it and it has been so healing. That is extremely healing to do. So if you have like issues and stuff like that around your money, and of course around it also bleeds into your offers and everything, because it all like overflows in your life. A lot of that stuff overflows. So if you have like an issue that's attached to money, that's attached to your pricing, that's manipura, that's solar plexus, pricing is solar plexus, and there's confidence around your pricing, and then bleeds into your sales, all that all like flows
Mhm.
together.
Yeah, and so to lean into that, just welcome the manifestation of those things right now in this moment, right at the end of this week, just before the new moon in Cancer. It's like, let yourself slow down, let yourself, maybe for you, right, like Supriya mentioned, it's a salt bath, right? And that's what you do, and know that that's adding to your long-term goals because it's going to overflow there. Or whether you nourish yourself with nutrition, if anyone caught my reel on Instagram, Psychic Moon Mentor, earlier today, or whatever it is, but allow yourself to like slow down. And I'm not talking about binging Netflix. I'm not talking about scrolling on your phone. That is not doing nothing. That is not helping you. I'm talking about going to just sit in nature, taking that salt bath, right? Whatever it is. But know that time that you take is going to overflow in that manifestation. And Yes, I'm so excited. I'm so glad we dove into this. It feels like the perfect timing just before the new moon. And I want to invite you as well to share, how can people work with you? How can they find you?
Yes. So how can people work with me? I actually have Unlock Your Business Chakras, Unlock the Power of Your Business Chakras, the 8-week group coaching program starting August 1st. So excited about that. I do have spots open for it. Anybody interested, definitely go to the link. Hopefully I can put the link in there.
We'll add it
Yeah.
after the live for sure. Yeah,
Um,
comments and
yes,
description.
put that in there. You can also just go to the website, thespiritdigital.com. There's also like a lot of links in there. You can follow me. I'm at the spirit, not, oh, sorry, no, at Supriya, my first name, dot digital. Supriya.digital. On pretty much like TikTok, Facebook, and Instagram. And I am Supriya Prasad on LinkedIn. So yeah,
Beautiful.
and you can just find me. I work one-on-one. I do have business chakra readings too. You can actually just go to my website and see those. And I do personal readings too. I actually have opened that up since that's actually been a common request for me on all these different platforms. So yeah,
Beautiful. I love it. Yeah, you have to follow the calling. Yeah, when people start asking you for the same thing, it's like,
yeah,
okay, all right, there's something here. I'm gonna follow
yeah,
that. So yeah, if you guys have been picking up on that, seeing that lately intuitively, clearing your energy, working on your chakras, aren't quite sure what that means, definitely go follow and check Supriya out. She can help you with this. Now is the time. You're seeing this for a reason. Lean into that and trust that. And if you would like to journey deeper into self discovery and clear things that have been stunting your growth, or even just manifest with the moon, I want to invite you to work with me. You can do so right now. I'm writing new moon personal rituals for individuals, which is a fun way to just start working with the moon energy and your intuition. And one of my favorite things to do as well is to connect people to their soul purpose and their soul passion. And I do that. We get started in a soul purpose session where we dive into your unique birth chart, and your unique gifts and your purpose, and aligning with that more fully. So, yes, thank you so much,
yeah,
Supriya, for joining me today. This was so much fun, and I hope we can do it again. I think we should do it
yeah,
again because there's so many different areas we can sort of touch on for
absolutely.
sure, I think.
Yeah.
All right, perfect. And we'll make sure to add all the links and things in the comments and the description above. So, sending everyone so much love. Happy moon manifesting.